That's my older brother right now. They're in the backyard staring at the neighbors. We live in a black neighborhood. He pretty much hates all black people. He beats me in front of our parents. He's a male chauvinist. He's a racist. He's a misogynist. He's a transphobe. He's a homophobe. He does nothing with his life. He drinks his life away. He used to quote-unquote box, which means he kept losing matches. He never once won a match. He does nothing with his life. His pancreas, he's destroying it apparently, because he went to the hospital a couple times in the past year or something. He's just talking to himself out there, I think. No life, no social life. And anytime any family comes here, or any friends, he literally just smugly goes on and on about his future in boxing and boxing promotion. He does nothing. That's pathetic. He's horrible. The man's he's a little thinner than he used to be. I don't want him to see that the camera's on in the window. But anyway, he's slightly thinner than he used to be when he first moved home years ago now. He was much larger and was beating me much more frequently. Anyway, trying to see if... Okay. Anyway, I mean, obviously he's still a lot larger than me now, but when he first moved home, he was really obese, pretty much. And, just beating me regularly, right in front of mom and dad. Constantly harassing me, harassing them. He was always harassing them. And then I would stand up to him and tell him, don't harass your parents. That's wrong. They don't even, make you pay anything to live here. They don't make you pay rent. They don't make you have a job to live here. It's like, the only reason I have been living here is because of my psoriasis, which apparently everybody in my family doesn't have who's living. Anyway, and no living member that I know of has psoriasis but me. My aunt had it. But she passed away when I was a teenager still, because she had breast cancer. And she died young in her 60s. She was my mom's older sister. Anyway, he lives here, and he's been living here doing nothing with his life, having no real health issues, but completely destroying himself physically, and being a complete lunatic maniac, basically beating me in front of them, regularly going off about Barack Obama. Ironically, this man used to be a staunch liberal. Back when I was in high school, in the early 2000s, he was always going off about how much he hated George W. Bush. Now he's going off in the same way about Barack Obama. And this year is 2019. Barack Obama's been out of office since the beginning of 2017, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not even thinking right now. So anyway, it's been a couple years or so. He's doing nothing with his life. He does just enough for mom and dad for them to be, oh, he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. And then they all three, including, well, my sister as well, so her as well, when she comes over, all four of them come over and harass the hell out of me for being different from them, for wearing dresses. My sister doesn't even wear dresses. She's a tomboy. So what's okay for her is not okay for me in her mind. That's what it is. It's not okay for me to get... In her mind, it's my fault that I'm getting beat down. That's what the bottom line is. This man is psychotic. They support him, and they harass me. All four of them harass me together. My sister's married, and her husband does nothing, which is really ironic because they're an interracial couple. Before the 1960s, before 50 years ago, they would be the kind of couple that me with anybody would be, because I'm in a dress and male, and which isn't anybody's business, but I might as well talk about the fact that that's the factor with my parents' transphobia. My entire family's bigotry, violent bigotry. I have nowhere to go because I don't make enough money, because I have psoriasis all over my body. It bleeds from stress, so therefore anywhere I try to work, I get fired from the job for bleeding all over the workplace, physically, not even voluntarily. It's an involuntary bleeding of the skin. The skin ashes all over my body. So all the skin flakes off on the workplace. It's unsanitary. I don't have any way to work in a regular environment. The only thing I can do at this point is to have my own boutique. That's what I've been working on. Opening a boutique. So I've been working on that since pretty much almost 2 years. I would say summer of 2017 I started investing regularly enough, but I didn't even really know at that time that I would really decide on opening a boutique. I think it was around Halloween of that year that I decided I was going to open a boutique, because people kept complimenting my dresses and saying, where am I getting these dresses? Like, I keep just investing in them. I have to keep finding interesting dresses. Anyway, I better turn this off before he comes back in the house. I think he is. Terrible. I just had to get more video of him, talking more about him. Because I have to move out of here by the summer, I think. Right now, my savings are high enough from each week of saving and starving. I starve to save that money. I literally starve on less than a meal a day. The only way to do that is to not pay for my meals at all, which means I'm surviving on freezer food in the freezer, which is really unhealthy for me to do. I get health food stuff from that I put in the microwave. That's all I can afford right now. If I actually spent any of my money on my weekly income, half of my income would go to just, living on one reasonable meal each day. Because they will not pay me what in fact, when I was first working for them, I better close this door. So my voice doesn't travel. Anyway, when they first hired me to work for them, they refused to pay me even the amount they pay me now. They paid me half of that. And I think I was working weeks or months even, working for half of what I make right now. And they even back then, they had me do even more. At first I was doing all the dishes, and they would shout like crazy at me for not getting the dishes done every day. If there was a dish on the sink area, or like a few dishes or something that seemed like it was not work done, they would go belligerent at me. Like, what are you talking about? First of all, I have arthritis in my hands, and at that time I was in my mid-20s when they first hired me, or early to mid-20s, I don't know. It was probably in my early 20s, and I already had arthritis. I had arthritis since my teen years from psoriasis. It's psoriatic arthritis, and it's kind of visible. Right now it's really mild probably because it's almost summer, that's one reason, but it's mild anyway because of the treatment of Stellarum for psoriasis. That's why it's really mild. But that's still, bad. That's swollen permanently, probably, for all I know. For all I know, I don't know all the medical truth on that one, but I just know that it's really painful, and it was in my knees and my feet, definitely all the time in my 20s. Because I could never afford anything. I still can't afford anything. I'm just at the mercy of doctors realizing this person keeps coming to the office. Someone connected me to the dermatologist's office and basically worked middleman stuff, and that's the only reason I'm there. And they don't like that I'm there. The doctors don't like that I'm there. They're like, well, this person doesn't get any money. They should just find a better job. It's like, I can't work anywhere. I get fired anywhere. It's like, just the climate alone is one reason, because with psoriasis all over a person's body, the temperature is always I would say 25 degrees colder to me than it is whatever the climate is. So if it's 90 degrees outside and burning hot to everybody, it feels like it's in the mid-60s to me, just warm. I'm constantly burning. That's why I'm always wearing a coat all year round. I'm wearing a coat. I wear multiple coats in the middle of winter. I'll wear these hooded sweatshirts, these zip-up hoodies. I would basically, I most of the time, this year wasn't too bad because I've been on treatment, but most years, I wear 2 of these, or 3 of these, or 4 of these. It depends on how cold it is to my body, and I'm bleeding underneath them practically. Well, not usually if I'm leaving the house because I shower before I leave the house, but if I'm in the house, I'm wearing multiple layers and bleeding from stress-activated bleeding, and the dude's beating me right in front of mom and dad while it's happening, and it's terrible. And it just always happens like this. This is what's been going on. And I'm just ranting at this point, so I'm turning this off.